He's going through a rough time right now. He's a dude who he's got skin cancer, and too much surfing and not enough sunscreen is a really bad combo. And so I'm talking to him, and we're kind of having this heavy conversation. He's a dude I used to be really, really close with back in the day. And then, you just kind of grow up and move away. And I would talk to him a lot, but we kind of got back into it, When you haven't talked to somebody for a long time, but you knew them so well when you were young, in high school and college, you get back in the groove. And we're talking, and he kind of poured his heart out a little bit. And this guy's story, basically, he's from a really well-to-do family. And he, his dad is like successful parent, and his dad's like a super, successful dude. His brother followed in the footsteps, and his sister. And my buddy just never found his spot in the family. And he would say he's like the black sheep. He's like the outsider. And he kind of is telling me, that this whole health thing is, he's raised in the church and he's left and he's come back and he's left and he's come back and he's one of these kind of cycles. Very apropos for the text. And he's telling me, I just never felt loved. Like I never felt like I fit in my own family. And it got me thinking about this text, this story. I think a lot of people read this story about the lost lamb and the lost coin, like my friend, and they think that those things represent like the black sheep, those guys out there. Like the people that are somewhere, whoever the outsider or others are for you, it represents them. And it's not directed to like us, the people sitting here right now, because we're like in the church, right? Like we got it together. Right? And so I think people read this text and they say, this is for those people out there beyond the fold, beyond Christianity, beyond God, beyond the church. And as I look at it, I think, no way, man. This is a story like for us, for people in the church, as well as for people outside of the church, for people like us who wander. People like us who have those periods and seasons that are longer than we like to admit of blindness, of being lost, of being out there. In other words, these stories ain't just for the outsiders. They're for everybody in here too. They're for all of us, right? These parables are about how lostness happens on the inside sometimes, right? About how it connects to us, right? And it's not just an experience for non-Christians, it happens to people in the church. And it's not like we go from, like I said before, sinful lostness to found righteousness, but it's a cycle, it's a pattern where we kind of get lost over and over again. Like again, that famous hymn, prone to wander, prone to leave the God I love. That's me and you, man. And that's real. And thank God, Jesus is the hound of heaven. Right? He's the hound of heaven. What does he do? He's on a mission. He's working and he's grinding to find you when you wander and to find those that are on the outs. And so what we see is that lostness has different forms, different variations, and different styles. It can be that extreme thing where you leave the church and you go away for months or for years or for decades. It can look like that. My buddy's going through that right now for sure. But it can also be more subtle. And I think this is where it hits us. It can be super subtle. It happens when we lose a sense of belonging maybe in the community. It happens when perhaps we just lose our capacity to trust people. And it just kind of ebbs and flows. It just happens little by little. Before you know it, you don't feel God's presence in your life. And it happens in heavier ways too, when sickness and illness come in your life. Right? And you're young and healthy, and this ain't supposed to happen to you. It happens when death comes out of nowhere, right? When people die, and when God's goodness doesn't look so good, and when you have a crisis of faith. And there's a laundry list, man. You get lost when you get struggled with addiction or anxiety or bitterness or hatred or whatever it is. We get so lost, and then God gets to work. God does his thing. He wanders into the wilderness to find us, right? He turns the lights on in the house, and he checks every nook and cranny until he finds us. And then what does he do, by the way? He throws a party. It's a celebration when you get found, when people get found. And it's good to know that God isn't just intent on seeking and on finding, but I love that last piece. That he's got to throw a party, man. Right? Every one of those three stories, the coin, the sheep, and the son, what happens when they all came back? It's a big party. It's a celebration. It's like good news, right? We say the gospel, like this is like a good news thing, man. We should be happy, right? And these stories reveal what the nature of God is, that he's a searcher. And he's a focused finder, determined to see where you're at and to bring you home. And we also see that God maybe isn't always hanging with the people that we would assume, or the places that we might expect. In other words, he's not always with the 99 insiders. Where is he sometimes? Out there, man, in the ether, in the scary place over there, finding the one who's gone astray. And he's not curled up on the couch, shining the 9 coins God is where lost things are. It's fundamentally who he is, to seek those lost people. He's in the darkness of the wilderness. He's in the remotest corners of the house, and he's looking. And so this is the question, man. If this is the nature of God, to seek and to find, to search for those lost things and lost people, and if we want to be Christians, we want to follow him, we want to heart after his, maybe we got to seek the lost too. Maybe that should be a part of who we are as Christians, trying to seek those lost people. And maybe, man, we got to get lost a little bit too. Maybe we got to go wander out into those lost places, right, out of the safety and comfort of our lives, and venture out and get in the mix with the lost people so that we can be emissaries of God's grace. At the very least, what this means, I think, at the bare minimum, is it means that we need to recognize our own lostness. No pretending, no glossing over it, no pretending you don't have this as a part of you too, but you have to come to terms with it. You have to recognize it. You have to own it. Extreme ownership. You have to own the lostness, and then you have to consent to God to being found. God, I'm lost. Find me. Come and find me, God, please. And now here's the thing, man. This ain't easy, because I think for a lot of people, they often wonder to themselves if they're even worth looking for. You know what I'm saying? I've talked to some people lately who just don't think that God would seek and search them. Like they're disposable. Right? Like they're not loved enough by God for him to go and find them. Right? Or they don't trust that God will give everything up to go and get them. But remember, here's the thing. God does his best work when we're lost. That's when he gets it done, man. That's when he does his best work, when we are unable to find ourselves. And there's so much joy when he recovers us and finds us that he calls all the names. And that should make us feel good, man. That should really, as Christians, make us say, in those dark times, in those seasons that are hard, God is always looking. God is always on the prowl. And remember the context, man. This is so essential as we wrap this thing up. The story, when Jesus is talking to the people he's talking to, he's telling these stories to religious insiders who can never admit their own lostness. Right? They're fakers, dude. They don't want to admit that they got any lostness in them. Right? He's telling these stories to those dudes who can't reconcile their religion with Jesus' strange claim that lostness actually has virtues. And what are the virtues of lostness? And guess what, man? Welcome to Christianity. You want to be found, you got to be lost. You want to be saved, you got to need saving. You want to be made alive, you have to be dead. You want to be made well, you better say you're sick. Come and get in line for the antidote. And so here's the good news, man, that lostness shows us these important traits of the saints: vulnerability, empathy, humility, patience, all these things that are so essential to the Christian life. And they show us who we really are and who God really is. Always looking. Even then, man, when it feels the most bleak and the most hopeless, God finds us. And that's amazing grace, man. It doesn't get any more amazing than that. So we sing that, man, and we can mean that. We can say, I once was lost, but now I'm found. I once was blind, but now I can see. And you know what? We can say, you know what? If you're lost right now, take hope. And if you're blind right now, God's on. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Amen.